There comes a moment when you have to tell yourself, to hell with all of this work, cell phone and email, it's time for a vacation. I just want to enjoy the silence, admire the beautiful scenery, ride the waves, or swim the waters of the ocean all day long. And if that's what you want, then you should go. For those who love water fun at the highest level, we're going to talk about 8 luxury swimming pools that you definitely have to try out. So, let's dive in. The perfect island of La Cala in the Fiji archipelago is a private location, and not everyone is welcome to visit. The wonders of this heavenly place are accessible only to the chosen ones, as in any other paradise. People become surprised by the blinding azure and coconut groves in these parts. You will not find a transparent pool like this with a sandy bottom on any of the nearby hotels. Its design is unique, a 25-meter glass pool that is built into a 2,000 square meter lagoon, creating a multi-level spa system. It offers a great perspective not only on the beautiful and perfect landscapes, and it's likely that you will not find a better place for Instagram photo sessions that will make all of your followers jealous. Only 8,000 people live in the French commune of Bandol, but it is, in fact, the busiest yacht pier on the Mediterranean coast. Your typical hostels are not likely to fit those who come here on their own yachts. However, the city has something to offer to guests that have an exquisite taste. Just take a look at the famous Villa on the Rocks. Here the boundaries of space are blurred. The water element organically intertwines with home comfort, and the wall of this cozy bedroom is the partition of a 28-meter pool with crystal clear water. The walls of the pool are made of thick glass, and while resting in the rooms of this villa, you can watch the floating guests just like fish in an aquarium. However, this is not the only visual pleasure available here. You can see a magnificent view of the sea and the nearby vineyards through the panoramic windows. The owners of the villa consider their house to be a work of architectural art, and with good reason. The author of the project, Rudi Riccati, took part in the early development of the Museum of Mukim in Marseilles, and now he has designed the most famous villa among the French Airbnb offers available. But if you are going to spend the night here, be ready to spend 570 euros per night. Rudi Riccati is, of course, an architectural genius. However, man is not able to best the natural magic of nature. In Arizona, in the lower part of the Grand Canyon, there is a system of Havasu waterfalls, the waters of which fall into the basin of natural origin. The landscapes in crystal blue waters seem to be brought to visual perfection with the brightness settings in Photoshop. But these colors actually exist in reality. The tribe of the local Indians is called Havasupai, which means people of blue-green waters. And now you know why. Here you can jump into the water, find the ideal angle for photo sessions, or just get wet and warm. The water temperature is 22 degrees all year round. However, don't rush to book flights to Arizona. To find yourself in this parallel universe of Indian reservations, it's not enough to go through a long and complicated journey between the 100-meter-high rocks of the Grand Canyon. You also need to get permission to visit this oasis. Tourism is the main source of income for Havasupai Indians, but they are not ready to let crowds of people in, so it often takes half a year to get permission. It may seem that most unexpected place for a pool would be the shore of the Pacific Ocean, but nevertheless, the world's largest swimming pool is located right here in the Chilean resort of San Alfonso del Mar. On the whole area of this pool, one can place more than a dozen mermaids. The pool is 1 kilometer in length, and it holds 250,000 cubic meters of seawater, which is maintained at a comfortable temperature of 26 degrees Celsius, which is 9 more degrees than the ocean itself. The scale allows those who wish not only to float on inflatable mattresses, but also to rent sailboats, small boats, and even inflatable water slides. By the way, the local hosts are much more hospitable. Not only guests of the resort, but also ordinary tourists can relax in the waters of the largest pool. This, of course, is with an extra charge, of course. But will anybody save money for such an impression? Now from the ocean coast, we are going to climb the mountains. It may seem that there can be no swimmers in the Swiss Alps. People go there to set records on the ski slopes and snowboarding. But the Hotel Villa Honegg offers the ability to discover a completely different Switzerland. In order not to freeze during this process, these are Swiss mountains after all, you can instead immerse yourself in an outdoor panoramic swimming pool where the temperature is maintained at 34 degrees Celsius in the winter. From here, you can see an incomparable view of the snow peaks, the landscapes of Lucerne Lake, and the small towns glowing by evening illumination at the foot of the Alps. And when clouds fall below the level of the hotel, all this beauty is covered by another landscape, marshmallow and misty, in which no one interferes with your relaxation. While the previous pool offers a view of the entire Swiss space, the sixth participant in our list comes from the state of Utah in the USA and invites you to descend into the bowels of the earth, directly to the bottom of a volcano. About 10,000 years ago, this crater was created by nature itself. When the snow melted on the Wasatch Mountain, the water made its way through the earth to a depth of 3 kilometers, where it warmed up due to volcanic activity, and then returned to the surface of the earth. This formed a limestone crater on the surface. Initially, in order to go bathing, one had to go down to the mouth on a rope. But in 1996, and with the help of dynamite, they managed to build a tunnel, and now even a child can overcome the path to the bottom of the crater. The hole in the crater resembles a hive, which gives it a unique charm. Another feature is its year-round availability, even in winter. The water temperature does not go below 34 degrees Celsius. Because of this, extreme divers can also dive here with scuba gear. However, because of the heat, you are forbidden to stay in the water for longer than 40 minutes. If you don't like extreme sports, you can do yoga here, on a waterboard with an oar. After all, since you're at the bottom of a volcano, you might as well spend some time here. It seems that in Utah, they like unusual water activities in general. In the town of Springville, for example, there exists one of the most unusual pools in the world, created on the basis of a rock massif, but with human-made grottos, waterfalls, diving tunnels adapted for diving, and, you might not believe this, an underground kitchen, cloakroom, toilets, and computerized control of all systems in the complex. Brave people jump into the water from the waterfalls, but more quiet tourists prefer to drift on inflatable mattresses around the grottos. The implementation of this bold idea cost $2 million for its owner. However, taking into account the popularity of the complex, it has been quite easy recouping the cost. Well, enough of crystal blue idyllic pictures for now. Have you ever wanted to be in the epicenter of a storm, fight with waves 2 meters high, raft along winding mountain rivers, exploring countless canyons, or fighting waves in mighty currents? It is advisable, of course, to stay alive while doing all of this. All of these possibilities can be experienced thanks to the creators of the water park Disney's Typhoon Lagoon in Orlando, Florida. There is a mountain with a height of 100 meters, water slides of varying degrees of steepness, and the opportunity to swim with leopard sharks and brightly colored fish in this diving attraction. Do you really need something more? And as soon as you're done watching the video, you can book tickets to any of the cities listed by us. And don't forget your swimsuit.